I don't like Malika Andrews, and we'll talk about that here in a second. Malika Andrews is an ESPN commentator, analyst for their network. If you've never watched her before, you're a lucky person, but it's kind of clear that she has a issue with black men. Whenever a NBA player or a black man is accused of a crime, the key word here being accused, accusations, whenever there's an accusation placed against a black man, even if they are charged or not, Malika will go out of her way to ensure that she brings up that man's past transgressions, whether or not they play a role whatsoever, and then the given topic that she's discussing. So that's also something you guys want to remember, because we're going to do a deep dive into Malika Andrews and her reporting when it comes to black NBA players. When you say, Coop, why are you bringing up, there's a current situation that's happening in the NBA with Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey is a 21-year-old Australian-born player for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And a few days ago, allegations had emerged of him having a relationship with underage girl or girls, I'm not sure how many. And to say it has been quiet on the forefront, not only Malika Andrews, but ESPN in general, is extremely accurate. If you're uninformed about the Josh Giddey clip, let me get you caught up to speed.
This weekend, the NBA is investigating Oklahoma City Thunder basketball player Josh Giddey for an alleged improper relationship with an underage girl.
Yeah, that's right. In a now deleted post, a social media user said a girl seen with Giddey in pictures and videos was a high school junior at the time. At a team practice on Friday, Giddey did not comment when questioned about the allegations. The Thunder drafted the 21-year-old basketball player with a first-round pick back in 2021.
And doing a quick Google search, I don't believe Josh Giddey has even been suspended by the league, which is crazy enough in itself. But before we get to Malika, let's see if we can find any information on this Josh Giddey situation, even on ESPN's website. So if you're looking at this page right now, I'm actually on ESPN's website. And I simply typed in Josh Giddey in the search bar, and here's what I could find. His player profile, obviously. Then the one article they have on 3 days ago from Tim McMenamin, and this is actually the clip when they talked to Josh. I'll go ahead and play the clip for you.
Past couple of days, some pretty serious allegations. I know nothing is concrete there, but is there anything you can say as to this situation?
Yeah, I mean, I understand the question, obviously, but no, there's no further comment right now. I get the question, guys, and I completely understand you guys want to know about it, but just right now, I don't have anything to say.
And that's crazy enough that a man could be accused of having relations with minors, and I get it, but it's also wild to me that he says, yeah, I understand that you guys want questions, but obviously I can't comment on that. And that's just that. And not only that's just that, there's no other articles or any follow-up or anything like that. So, of course, we all know Malika Andrews, the fine journalist that she is, we already know she's going to have the same energy for Josh Giddey that she has for so many other players that she's thrown under the bus. You know she's going to have that same energy, even though I can't find any information or any videos of her talking about it. But let's go to her social media. She has to talk about it there. Let's see what we got. Okay, I'm currently on Malika Andrews' Twitter page, and what does she have here? Let's look at her last tweet from 2 days ago, November the 25th. What does she have here? Victor says he didn't realize Wembanyama was spelled wrong on his jersey tonight versus Golden State Warriors. It's a real shame. She's talking about the #1 draft pick for the San Antonio Spurs, Victor Wembanyama, jersey spelled wrong. That's what she's talking about, even though this story is circulating like crazy. That's what she's talking about. And you can see her comments, and I love every minute of it, and I'm petty, so I like them all. Speak on Josh Giddey the same way you like to speak on black athletes, even when they pass away. Just say you read the teleprompter anyhow.
It's good.
And you guys are unfamiliar with that. He talks about even the player pass away. There was the NBA player, Adrian Payne. He played at Michigan State in college, and he bounced around the league. He passed away a few years ago. You would not believe what Malika Andrews said when she was announcing his death.
Shifting gears, former Michigan State star Adrian Payne was shot and killed in Orlando, Florida, early Monday morning, the Orange County Sheriff's Office said. And Payne was the 15th pick by the Atlanta Hawks in 2014. Played 4 seasons in the NBA with multiple teams. In 2018, he was waived by the Magic after he was named in a report by ESPN's Outside the Lines that he'd been involved in an alleged sexual assault at Michigan State in 2010. No charges were filed in that case. Prior to playing in the NBA, Payne was a member of the All Big Ten second team in 2 of his 4 seasons with Michigan State. Payne was 31 years old.
Extremely classless, extremely unprofessional, but this is the type of woman that we're dealing with. Why you haven't spoken on Josh Giddey yet? Malika, when she sees a white NBA player with allegations, all facts, I wonder, has ESPN even brought up the football player, I can't think of his name right now, who was sentenced for beating up on his black girlfriend a few years ago? Josh Giddey, why no coverage? You do it to all the other players all the time without evidence. Facts. I know what you're thinking, Coop. That's just Twitter. She's gonna have to have put out something the last couple days about it. Let's check her Instagram. I'm on Malika Andrews IG. This was her last post from 1 day ago. She posts here a picture with her sister. I believe her sister works on ESPN as well. She says a little bit of hoops and a lot of turkey and yams because, hope everyone had a great holiday. And look at the comments. You better cook Giddey tomorrow like you do all the black players. When are you going to talk about Josh Giddey? Stop deleting comments. I guess she was deleting comments. Malika, a sad case for a black woman. I could tell you wish you were white. Facts. You bash black men on top. Why don't you show the same energy towards Giddey? So you're just not about to say nothing about Giddey, but let it have been a black man, you would have been foaming out the mouth to bring another black man down. So why not say nothing now? You already made a career out of beating black men down, or does that only apply to black men? And those comments were so spot on, man. Malika grinds my gears. There was an interaction with Malika Andrews and Stephen A. Smith. There was a situation with former Boston head coach Ime Udoka, who ended up being fired for having a consensual relationship with someone on his staff, but of course it was deemed inappropriate. He chose some cat over the bag.
Stephen A., with all due respect, this is not about pointing the finger. Stop. That women were unfairly dragged into this within the Celtics organization. The fact that we are sitting here debating whether somebody else should have been suspended or not, we are not here, Stephen A., to further blame women. That is not why we are here.
First of all, let me be very clear. I don't appreciate where you're going with that. I'm not blaming anybody but Ime Udoka. He deserves, the fact of the matter is, I've said he deserved to be fired if they were going to fire him. If you're not going to fire him, then don't fire him. My issue is all of this being publicized. The point that I'm trying to make is just like you're not mentioning. Excuse me. I listened to you. You're the one telling me to stop on my show. It ain't happening. Okay, that's number one.
Malika Andrews, a woman who I believe is around 25 years old, talked to this man Stephen A., who's more than twice her age, as she attempted to sun him on his show. Stephen A. wasn't having it. Oh wait, we not done. And also remember that after Ime Udoka was fired, and it was obviously that was what Malika Andrews wanted to happen, is that they hired Joe Mazzulla, another black man, and on the day that it was announced he was hired, she was bringing up allegations of his from when he was in college.
And Woj, you reported that Joe Mazzulla will be the interim head coach here. You can see his resume on your screen. He's been a Celtics assistant coach the last 3 seasons after spending the previous 3 seasons at Fairmount State. And he played for West Virginia between 2006 and 2011, and now could become the NBA's youngest head coach at 34 years old. And we'd be remiss not to also mention that Mazzulla was arrested twice at West Virginia, once in 2008 for underage drinking and aggravated assault. He pled guilty, paid a fine, and then again in 2009 for domestic battery after an incident at Morgantown Bar. The domestic battery case never went to trial. It was settled in August of 2009. He paid a $100 fine and court costs, plus had to do 40 hours of community service. Now, that was 13 years ago. He settled and paid both fines. So, Woj, why are the Celtics choosing him as their next head coach?
There's also been other clips of her trying to tell NBA players that she knows the game better than them.
I think that Dylan Brooks should be suspended for Game 3 and possibly Game 4. Look, you have to clean this up. Look, we talking about people saying we don't know if he did it intentionally. He fouled him on purpose, and he did it with intentions. Okay, let's get that out the way. Here's the thing that we have to. Looking at the play,
you can't look at a person. Yeah, but you're making an assumption.
Yes, you can.
You can't look at a person and know what their intent was. It was a dangerous play, regardless. But you can't. Okay. I didn't realize we had a bunch of mind readers on the panel. Kirk, please continue.
Kirk, how old were you when you dunked the ball for the first time?
Now here's when he humbled her.
21. 12.
12. How old were you when you dunked the ball for the first time?
12.
I was about 13 years old when I dunked the ball for the first time. I know what a fast break looks like. I have 4 months out in a season because I had my wrist taken out on a dunk. I know not necessarily the intent to hurt, but I know the intent to foul extremely hard, and that's the repercussions.
Those are 3 NBA veterans who all played in the league for 10, 12, 15 plus years, but all 3 of those dudes are NBA champions. And you're gonna try to tell them about some basketball?
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
And if you guys don't know anything about Malika, she's a mixed woman. I actually bought her mother's book. I never read it though. Her mother's an author, and her mother wrote this book here, Coffee with Cream. It's a children's book, but I bought the book months ago. But the reason I bought it was because apparently she wrote this book for Malika because Malika struggled growing up with her identity as far as being interracial, black or white. While I was editing, I stopped and simply read the book. The book is a children's book, and it may be like 40 pages at the most. But I'll show you one thing that stood out to me in the book was this following text. One day when I was 4, I asked Mama, am I going to have cream-colored skin like you when I grow up? This is Malika Andrews talking. She said, no. I cried, but I want to match you. Oh, sweetheart, she sighed. We match in so many ways. I'll get some paper and a pencil and we can make a list. And that's pretty much the gist of the rest of the book. I'm watching ESPN. I said this before in the previous video. There's no point in watching ESPN. Why? There's no need. There was a point in time where all we had was the sports coverages and ESPN. That's all we had. Now we don't have that. You know what all the players are doing now on YouTube with their own podcasts? We can go straight to the players for their information and questions that we have for them. Hell, an NBA player can be doing a live stream. You can ask them a question directly by throwing a super chat at them. Hey, Malika, why don't you lean in real quick? If you ain't gonna have the same energy for these white dudes while you're causing havoc, keep black men's name out your goddamn mouth. You know why? Cause
You a coon.
you with a squad. All up.